If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my. I done been around the world.
Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
Welcome back to another episode of Player Performance, NFL Week 10. I, of course, am J.A. Cavalier, your favorite capper's favorite capper. Go ahead, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss what it is we do here. We're going to be here every NFL week, breaking down the week's card, giving you the information needed to beat the book. We're going to get into NFL Week 10 in just a second, but first, let's recap Week 9 with Tessa Hall.
Back it up. One more time.
All right, let's see that again.
Here's your NFL Week 9 recap. Matt Canada going down to the sideline just stopped people from showing up with pitchforks outside his home. Sorry if you woke up early, Fins fans. The Tyreek Bowl was no fun for you. Josh Dobbs is a god and a genius, and we will hear nothing else about it. The Bears lose again, but the Saints are still a very average team. Brett Rypien was so bad for the Rams that the team immediately signed Carson Wentz. That says a lot. Sam Howell might be a guy in Washington, and he pushed Belichick further to the brink of retirement. So the Ravens are the best team in the NFL, huh? What a beatdown. C.J. Stroud may not be a genius, but he is certainly a god. The Cards traded away Dobbs and then got shut out with Clayton Tune. Out-of-tune franchise is what they are. Minshew Mania went crazy in Carolina as the Colts stay alive in the South. The Giants should have to play a game in the XFL after losing to the Raiders. Joey B is so back, and Josh Allen and the Bills should start panicking. Zach Wilson might not have success in the CFL at this point. Dak Prescott, big stats with a zero clutch performance.
All right, so obviously not the week we were looking for last week. First time in the history of this show, back-to-back max bets lost. And the max bet last week should have hit probably 10 times over. It was the Commanders and the Patriots over the posted total. They had several opportunities to push that game well over the posted total. It just fell short, but you guys know, we just keep moving forward. So this week, pressed for time, wasn't sure I was going to get a show out, so I'm going to give you guys a dumbed-down version. But you know one thing, even a dumbed-down version of my show is still going to be 10 times better than any of the other shit that's out there. I do want to get to last week's Amazon gift card winner. Last week's Amazon gift card winner is at Tyson Babb. Email us, playbook@ylose.com. We'll give you instructions on how to get that Amazon gift card. We send it electronically to your email, so it's simple. You want to join this week's $200 Amazon gift card giveaway? All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this episode, and drop a comment below. Best comment wins a $200 Amazon gift card. We give them out every single week on this show. Now, the reason we're all here, let's get into NFL Week 10. All picks and leans. I love the card this week. I'm looking forward to a big weekend. This is the week that you want to tail. Whenever I'm coming off a losing week in the NFL, that is always the best time to jump in. I don't have many losing weeks, but then when we do have one, it's usually time to jump in, head first, dive right in. We're about to smash.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
Colts versus Patriots.
The Colts are laying 1.5. The total here is at 43.5. And I'm going to take a prop here. This is going to be my top prop for the show. Mac Jones to throw an interception. It's a sign of the times. I mean, think on this. The Patriots are home dogs to the Indianapolis Colts and Gardner Minshew. This issue has been Mac Jones, or maybe it's even a little bit bigger. Bill Belichick's inability to admit defeat. His inability to admit he's wrong. Now, I'm shocked he's not making a change here. Mac Jones already 9 interceptions on the season. He's thrown a pick in 7 of 9 games this year. Say what you want about the Indianapolis Colts defense, but you have to include ball hawks. They're tied for 3rd most in the league. Their defense has 9 interceptions. They're tough on quarterbacks, disguising coverages. They rank 11th in QBR to opposing quarterbacks. The game plan is simple. Pressure Mac Jones. Indy has 10 sacks already on the season. So just keep him in the pocket, make him uncomfortable, force him into bad decisions, which we all know he's prone to as is, Since 2022, Jones has 20 interceptions. We're going to make it 21 this week. Mac Jones to throw an interception, top prop for the show.
Texans versus Bengals.
The Bengals are laying 6.5. The total here is at 48. Now, this is going to be a huge letdown game for Houston, and I'm laying the points. After what happened last week, I felt like I owed you guys a free max bet, and here it is. Free max bet, Cincinnati Bengals laying anything under a touchdown. I am going to be moving large in this game. The Bengals are probably going to star in a couple of money line parlays, maybe some teasers, but I am also going to play them laying the 6.5. Actually, I'm already in for 5 on the Cincinnati Bengals laying the 6.5. All the sharps agree. Everybody I trust, everybody I respect. I've had lengthy conversations about this game, and we're all in lockstep. 67% of the money is also back in the Cincinnati Bengals here. Look, the Texans are coming off an exhausting emotional win. They have national attention for the first time in a long time. C.J. Stroud's going to get a reality check in this game. Cincinnati is not Tampa Bay. They're the hottest team in the league. The Bengals have won 4 straight, and they've beaten teams like the Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers, and Buffalo Bills during that stretch. They beat San Francisco by 14 points. They beat Buffalo by a touchdown. They've done 2 things, and they've done both of them really well. Their run defense has been elite. The Niners, led by McCaffrey, held to 113 total rushing yards. Buffalo was limited to 68. That's going to put all of the pressure on a young C.J. Stroud in what may be the biggest game of his young career. His opportunities are also going to be limited. Remember, Cincinnati typically dominates time of possession. Houston's defense is just 15 points allowed. Since he's covered in 4 straight, this game week's going to be 5 straight. I am taking the Cincinnati Bengals. I am laying less than a touchdown. This is not only the best bet for the show, this is absolutely a max bet, all in on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Saints versus Vikings.
The Saints are laying 2.5. The total here is at 41. And I know I called the last prop my top prop, but actually I think I like this prop a little bit better. This is going to be the top prop for the show, and it's T.J. Hockenson over 5.5 receptions. I love this prop. It's been an absolute cash cow. Hockenson has been a vital member of the offense, especially with Justin Jefferson on the shelf. His prop has never been more than 5.5, which is just absurd. He's gone over in receptions in 7 of 9 games. In his last 4, Hockenson is averaging 7.5 receptions a game. Dobbs hit him a ton last week, targeted him 12 times. Dobbs is still learning the playbook. He's still learning the system. So, of course, hitting his checkdowns should be frequent. The Saints are also coming off a game where Cole Kmet destroyed them. 6 catches for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dobbs also likes his tight ends. Well, let's face it, we all like tight ends. But his final game in Arizona, he hit Trey McBride 10 times on 14 targets. Before Zach Ertz was injured, Ertz had at least 6 receptions in 3 of his first 4 games. Top prop, T.J. Hockenson over 5.5 receptions.
Packers versus Steelers.
The Steelers are laying 3. The total here is at 38.5. Now, this line has jumped up a 1.5. All big money is coming in heavily on the under here. I'm also on the under in this spot. I'm going under here too. And look, it's just 2 putrid, bad offenses. The Steelers have scored 20 or less in 4 of their last 5 games. As an offense, they average just 16 points a game. That's 29th in the NFL. On top of that, Green Bay is top 10 in points allowed. They give up just 20 a game. Kenny Pickett has been wildly underwhelming. He's gone under 200 yards passing in 3 of his last 5 games. Najee Harris, a massive non-factor on offense. He hasn't gone over 100 yards once this season. He's averaging 47 yards a game. That's pathetic. Your lead back is averaging under 50 yards per game. Green Bay isn't much better on offense. They do have the excuse, just Love is not getting it done. They average 15 points a game in their last 4. The under is hit in 6 straight for Pittsburgh, 4 straight for Green Bay. I'm going to follow both of those trends. I am on the under in the Green Bay Packer-Pittsburgh Steelers game.
J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. 3 NFL games for this Sunday. 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays, 1 week, $99. His Pro Football Triple Crown must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. Link in the description below. Click the link now and jump on the money train.
Titans versus Buccaneers.
So the Buccaneers are laying 1.5. The total here is at 38.5. And I feel like you just have to bet the over in this spot. This total is just far too low, especially given Tampa's last couple of performances. The Bucs have allowed 63 points in the last 2 weeks. Todd Bowles, once defensive guru, the defense is just flat. A huge issue, of course, is going to be that secondary, and more specific, Carlton Davis. He was once considered the best corners in the league, but single-handedly allowed 3 scores last week. He was picked on by a rookie quarterback. That's right. C.J. Stroud picked on him last week. 112 yards, 7 for 7 when targeting him. Will Levis should be able to have some success in this game, especially with D-Hop lined up against Davis. Don't look too much into this one, and don't look into the Steelers game. The Steelers' defense has made a lot of young quarterbacks look bad. Their defense applies far more pressure than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa's going to allow points. They're also going to score points. Baker balled out last week, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their run game has finally made an appearance. And look, Rachaad White is one of the best in the game right now. 73 yards from scrimmage last week, also 2 touchdowns. Titans ranked 20th in total defense. I expect a ton of points in this game. Give me the Titans-Bucs over 38.5.
49ers versus Jaguars.
The 49ers are laying 3. The total here is at 45.5. Now, this total opened up at 44.5, already jumped the full point, and I'm still in lockstep with the movement. I am on the over in this spot. The Niners' defense has showed issues, exposed the last 2 weeks. First, they were exposed by the Minnesota Vikings, then exposed by the Cincinnati Bengals. That was entering their bye. But entering their bye, they allowed 53 total points back-to-back weeks. The secondary was torched, a secondary that was in question to start the season. Kirk Cousins lit them up for 378 yards passing. Joe Burrow followed suit, 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Niners line just isn't creating pressure. Just 18 sacks this season. That's pretty much league average. So the Jaguars offense, which has been absolutely on fire, they should be able to have a big day. The Jaguars are averaging 27 over the last 5 games, which all, of course, have resulted in wins. ETN has been an exact replica of McCaffrey. So he does for the Jaguars what McCaffrey does for the Niners, both on the ground and through the air. 7 touchdowns in his last 5 games. Niners offense should be able to bounce back, especially coming off a bye. Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel both come back healthy, and I'm going to argue that Deebo is the most important player to his team's success. And we've seen that, and yes, the others are going to make arguments, but I'm going to argue more than Kelsey, more than Chase, Deebo Samuel is the driver of that engine, and the offense is only going to go as he goes. It's just a different vibe when he's on the field. The Niners were averaging over 30 points a game with Deebo in the lineup. I expect them to get back on that pace. Now, I don't know if I'm going to like the Niners to win this game. I do expect a ton of points from both of these offenses. Give me the 49ers Jaguars over the posted total.
Browns versus Ravens.
The Ravens are laying 6. The total is at 37.5. Now, there's a reason this total has dropped the full point. 90% of all big money is coming in on the under. I am also coming in on the under. It's simple. Take the under. This is a divisional matchup. I know it's like me beating a dead horse because I say it week in and week out, but this division plays close, slugfest type games. This is going to be a rock fight. Baltimore's defense, number 1 in points allowed. The Browns are 3rd. The Ravens allow 14 points a game. The Browns, 17. Last week, Baltimore held Seattle to just 3 points, and the Browns one-upped them by allowing absolutely nothing in a shutout of Arizona. 2 winners, of course, for me. I had the Ravens max bet in a rout, and then the Cardinals team total under. Of course, they put up the goose egg. This is going to be a total scrap for points. Cleveland's going to try to establish the run. Baltimore ranks 8th in stopping the run. Same could be said for the Ravens. They have more yards per attempt on the ground than any other team. But Cleveland ranks 6th in rushing yards allowed. This matchup also loves unders. It trends under the posted total. In their last 2 games, the two scored a combined 16 points and 31 points. The under is hit in 6 of the last 10 between these two. I think that trend continues. Give me the under the posted total, Browns-Ravens.
Lions versus Chargers.
The Lions are laying 2.5. The total here is at 48.5. The total hasn't dropped too much, but I would still jump in on the under before it does. Los Angeles is one of the best under teams in the league. The under is hitting 6 straight for the Chargers. An issue is that their offense is fraudulent. It's just 15th in the NFL in total yards. Austin Eckler is one of the better running backs in the league, but LA ranks 22nd in yards per rush. Detroit loves to hear that. They have the 2nd best run defense in the NFL. The Lions are 4th best in defensive DVOA. Detroit limits opponents on offense. While their one soft spot is against the pass, Herbert isn't really dealing right now. He has depleted receiving core. Mike Williams is out for the year. Joshua Palmer is currently on IR. Herbert threw for just 136 last week. His QBR rating was 65. LA scored just 2 offensive touchdowns last week, and those were set up by 3 fumbles forced by the defense. Now they're coming into this on a short week. I love the under in this spot. Give me the Lions-Chargers under 48.5.
J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. 3 NFL games for this Sunday. 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays, 1 week, $99. His Pro Football Triple Crown must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. Link in the description below. Click the link now and jump on the money train.
That's right. Get to ylose.com. That's the letter Y, LOSE.com. Free picks, stats, trends, scores, odds, and more. ylose.com. The letter Y, LOSE.com. Pick up this week's NFL Triple Crown. There's 3 max bets on Sunday that I absolutely love. They may be the only 3 games I play this entire week, or at least weekend. Definitely the only 3 games I'm unloading on Sunday. 3 spots that I love, 3 games that I love, an opportunity to dominate. 1 week, $99. Must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. Link in the description below. Well, that's it for me this week. This has been NFL Week 10. I'll see you guys back here next week as we break down the card for NFL Week 11. But until then, remember, bet with your heads, not above them.
Day, week, month, and season packages available on ylose.com. That's the letter Y, LOSE.com.